What's going on, guys? Vulkan here, and today is finally the day that Outriders gets that technical patch for the demo. So this is a big one because it adds the motion blur toggle and fixes some big issues with player inventory. So let's go ahead and dive in and see what all changed. Now, these first few changes are for PC specifically. So the big thing, the showrunner of this patch, is the motion blur toggle. Now, this demo launched with so much blur that it killed the experience for lots of people. And it even made some players so sick they had to stop playing because it just affected their motion sickness so badly. So the developers listened, and they had originally planned on adding the toggle to the full game but not the demo. But after player feedback, they pushed it up and said, you know what, we're going to add the toggle to the demo. That way you guys can continue to experience and enjoy what's out there right now and not having to wait for the full release. So you can find the setting in options under display. It's a simple toggle. There's not a slider or anything like that. It's just off and on. And I have a comparison up on the screen for you guys so you guys can check that out. So the next big fix is one that thankfully has not affected as many people as motion blur, but it's just as devastating, and that's the player inventory wipe. So to give a little bit of background for those of you who don't know, there was a bug that caused the inventory of a player to vanish when they transition to a new area. So normally this isn't a huge issue for a demo, but since Outriders allows players to farm legendaries that you can bring with you into the full game, and players have been spending up to 254 hours grinding, which, side note, that is an insane amount of hours to be spending on a demo, just grinding out legendaries, just absolutely craziness. But if you're someone who spent that much time and your entire inventory is gone, that's a massive disappointment to watch all of your hard work literally disappear in seconds. So this one is in a much better spot now. That major bug got fixed, but there are still some very rare situations where this can occur. And People Can Fly, the developer for Outriders, they're currently working on a system that can restore a player's gear if it suddenly disappears. So hopefully we get to the point where if this does happen, you can put a ticket in and they're like, hey, you know what? Whoop, there you go. There's everything that you lost. Get out there and have a good time. So the next fix revolves around making some minor tweaks to the frame rate in cutscenes to help improve performance. So a lot of people were having issues with performance in cutscenes, basically big FPS drops. And that's partly because some of the items in cutscenes in the background were having issues with frame rate, but the frame rate of cutscenes was also locked to 30, so caused issues kind of on both fronts. Now, this isn't a huge change, but it should help everyone out a little bit. But this also does not affect the shaky cam cutscenes. So if you're someone who really can't handle those shaky cams, then that's still there. Hopefully they can get that toned down for release, but just keep that in mind. They also implemented a fix to help with some crashes on PC when a player is opening a menu or inventory. Basically open your inventory screen, your computer crashes, it's an Unreal Engine error. They got that fixed. And they also implemented a fix to help speed up matchmaking, which is great news because in a game like this, where there's such a heavy influence on completing things as a group, and most things are going to be geared towards groups of 3, being able to quickly matchmake, pick up a group, and proceed into content is going to be crucial. If they can't land this, and this is not 100% fixed by the time the game comes out, this game is going to have big issues. So the last few patch notes, these are all around kind of improving like the subtitles and audio sync in the Quest Bad Day, and they fixed the Buy Now button in the PlayStation Store. So all in all, this was an important patch, right? This one needed to happen. Is it filled to the brim with tons of changes and things like that? No, but it's about the quality, not the quantity. And this needed to be implemented for those of us playing the demo now and for those players who discovered this game a few months down the line to both have an enjoyable experience. So what do you all think of these changes? Will you be leaving motion blur on or off? Are you going to come back to the game, or was your particular issue not in this patch? And let me know what it was in the comment section below. But as always, thank you guys so much for the support. This has been Vulkan, and I'll talk to you guys next time.